on Friday, there were a couple of TV presenters that were suspended for just committing the minor offense of airing a satirical clip in which they were criticizing the parliament of this country. And so this happened at a privately owned television station known as Baba TV.
Yes.
We have so many TVs now. I don't even know,
You don't know this one?
I don't.
From Tinda, the traffic lights, the road that goes to Chisasi, before the MTN service center, there is a flat. There is a storied building that has Baba TV. That's why
Is that the orange building?
I don't remember if it's orange, but Baba TV, you can't miss the signpost.
I'm just saying that I think the digital revolution has birthed so many TVs, and especially now that we sort of went the decoder route. Like, for example, I never got the decoder to start watching local TVs.
I never got.
Is it called a decoder? Decoder.
Yeah, it's a decoder. They call it the free-to-air decoder. That has the local channels. Yeah. So, but it was for those. It was for the low-income earners that can't afford to pay for GoTV or DSTV. So they buy it at once and they don't have to pay subscription again.
Okay. Well, anyway, so this Baba TV that I'm only starting to hear about. So they received complaints over a broadcast that aired last Tuesday, actually, a week ago.
Yeah.
By a presenter called Simon Muyanga Lutaaya, who criticized the parliament for approving a motion to censure against the housing minister. And so what happened was that during that session, Minister Persis Namuganza was being penalized because she had apparently accused... She had accused the parliament of not giving her a fair hearing to address fraud allegations leveled against her, to which Lutaaya, the presenter, said, "I want to thank the parliament for censuring Namuganza. Uganda's problems are finally solved by this censure," as if. Hospitals will have drugs, our roads will be okay, the youths will get jobs. Now, two other journalists that were on the panel with him agreed with him. And apparently, the TV station thereafter received several complaints, especially from members of parliament and also officials at the Uganda Communications Commission who complained about this clip. Now, I don't know why the Communication Commission would take issue with this presentation. I mean, surely they have every right to express an opinion.
Apparently, their comments demeaned the body that is the Parliament of Uganda, and because it was their opinions were aired on a television station that is also under UCC, because it's the regulator, right? So they had to come out and, be backing dogs too.
I wonder, though, because I can think of several programs on TV, but especially on radio, where people air very critical opinions of these politicians, of the government, and even of the president, and they don't get in trouble. It's considered to be an acceptable part of public discourse and fair criticism. I
actually watched the clip. Of course, he was being satirical. He said, "Thank you, Parliament, because when we have bigger issues to discuss, the House is almost empty. There is a Kosase report over Uganda Airlines. Members of Parliament are no show. There is a Kosase report about NSSF. We can see you. But when it is about to censor someone, then you are in Parliament. So, yeah, you did a great job. We appreciate." I just feel like the ruling party or, government, these people are just in their feelings because we all saw it.
Also, is it that the clip, I'm wondering if the clip was viewed during its live broadcast, or did they maybe see it on social media or something?
It was like viewed. It was viewed during its live broadcast, but there is also a copy of it on Twitter, on Lutaaya's Twitter page. Because
I feel like a lot of our television stations benefit a lot by their clips going viral on social media. So it is when one of their clips goes to social media and then it creates a controversy, so that people who maybe never even saw it get to
follow the conversation.
Yes. And I'm wondering if that is how the MPs got wind of it, because I can't imagine this many of them were all watching this TV at the same time.
I think it first went viral and then the MPs got wind of it. But I still don't see why they got into their feelings, because he didn't say anything that is not true. They were there in huge numbers, over 350 of them, they were there. But when there are other sessions, when there are other plenary sessions where issues of national importance must be discussed, they are not there. So if a journalist comes and says, oh, by the way, this was such an important issue and you guys turned up in huge numbers, we thank you. Why are you getting into your feelings? Why are you being offended?
But I wish the TV station stood up for the team. I mean, I think the management could have gone to the UCC and argued that actually what took place constituted fair commentary. It wasn't abusive, it wasn't insulting, it wasn't disrespectful.
It wasn't.
It was just a satirical comment. Now, could the argument be that these guys are supposed to be journalists, thus they are supposed to be impartial? Is that the expectation?
You know, one of the roles of a journalist is to be a gatekeeper and a watchdog, right? And this is what he did. He's like, there will be medicine in the hospitals. Children will have school fees to go to school. Schools will not charge unfairly. And he mentioned many things that the country is grappling with. And that is the role of a journalist, to bring these things to the fore. So you asking him, because later there is another clip that was posted on Twitter where they actually had to apologize, and they said it was just a comment that went viral and the joke was overstretched and we are so sorry. So they apologized to the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, and her deputy, the president. And as I watched it, I was like, honestly, he didn't even have the same vigor while apologizing. I think they told him, you know what, you either apologize or you lose your job.
But I think this is a mistake that UCC is making, because they are effectively killing media, news media, by doing this. Because part of the reason why social media has exploded is because this is where people can find unfiltered, uncensored opinion on different topics. And if now the news journalists have to censor themselves and not cross certain lines, and essentially are only presenting a very bland and very sort of black and white, straightforward, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like reporting kind of stuff. Then they're going to lose audience to more, I guess,
to unscripted media.
Unscripted and controversial commentators,
yes,
of which there are now a number on Facebook. Like that guy who was based in Turkey, that was
Lumbuye.
that
and
they
that
went
guy
after.
spills a lot of untruths.
You see, because what you want guys like, the reason people watch him is because when they turn on the TV, they're seeing guys in suits and ties just
they're boring, saying things,
stating the obvious,
and sometimes stating things where you know that is complete BS.
And if he were to dare express his honest opinion, then he would be punished by UCC.
You said that you wished that the station stood up for its people, but you have always said about international media that it is owned by people like Bill Gates, the men in business, and that's not different for Uganda. Because the Ugandan media is largely owned by private individuals. So if your station is threatened by a revoking of a license, or if UCC tells you suspend them or else you're going to face, the wrath of the law or the government, what are you going to do? You're going to have them suspended even if you believe in everything that they said.
Well, I just think it's counterproductive.
And there is it is counterproductive. There was a guy who was a huge government critic on the same station, and then suddenly this guy was driving a Mpenkoni. And he went quiet.
Meaning what?
Mpenkoni are those big government cars. Yeah. And it was given to him by the government, and this is not hearsay. It was in the news.
I understand that there's suspicion that usually the loudest critics end up getting bought off and silenced in that way.
Yeah, that way.
Okay, well, the media is in trouble then in this country. What are we going to do?
It is in trouble.
What you can do is to keep listening to your number one station, RX Radio, and also follow us on TikTok, on YouTube, and also share the link to the RX Radio website with your friends. It is rxradio.ug. Stay tuned for more great music.